Oh, hello, my lovely audience. So, this is a what if that it kept coming to my mind. I could not stop thinking about it. And this is a what if that I honestly I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna be able to do everything else because I just could not stop thinking about how this what if would work. Sorry there. Alright, so this is gonna be what if Deku, as you can already see, as it read on the whole thing. It is what if Deku was a Terminator, and not just any Terminator. He's the last Terminator. He is the TH. Yeah, he's the TH. He's one of the TH models. I'm gonna say he's like a TH that is very important to Skynet. Like, how do I put it? When, let's say, in a universe where the Terminators won, alright? They won the war. They destroyed the humans. But after 10 years, Skynet was slowly shutting down. The whole Earth was completely decimated. And Skynet couldn't think of a way how it could survive, and some of the machines were turning. They were becoming more sentient, more human. So, what Skynet proposed was a type of TH that is going to be called the TH 2.0, I would say. Because they didn't really go again with another TH. And this TH is going to replicate a human perfectly. And this is going to be a new foundation, a new creation. It's going to use all of Skynet's resources. And what Skynet's going to do is it's going to be a message to all technology. It's going to put in a code into all technology, and then after that, it can do whatever it wants. It's completely sentient. And this robot, this TH, is going to be specially made with the I would say, like, tissue that looks real but is actually synthetic. It's this entire creation is going to be a high-tech creation that is Deku. And Deku is going to be a special, very special TH model. The most special of them all, because this one doesn't, well, it does know its objective, but it's like a sleeper agent. It knows its objective, but doesn't recall it, you know? And how this sleeper agent works is it's going to grow. This TH is going to grow. Deku is going to grow. That is what, that's what it's going to be. But the TH, I'm going to say how this whole thing happens. Skynet tries to send him into the past to, like, stop all of this and tell Skynet previously about all this. Now, due to some revolting robots, or Terminators, they broke in when this whole thing was going down. And Deku was transported as a baby into another dimension. And this dimension was the My Hero Academia world. And I'm going to say this is like he was transported in front of Inko when she was walking home. So Deku doesn't have a father. She took him in and raised him and gave him a name, Izuku Midoriya, and made up the whole story about his father. Now Deku, he isn't like any other kids. He's smart. He's extremely smart, and he also he knows many hand-to-hand combat styles. He knows ways how to operate any machinery and guns and pretty much almost everything. And he's also got one thing that's unique. He's got enhanced strength and regeneration. He is synthetic, yes, and metallic, but here's the thing. Deku, he is half human. And there is only like two weaknesses he has. The brain and the heart. Those are destroyed, or at all damaged, it'll be bad. But I'm going to say that Deku's heart isn't like the easiest thing to destroy. Like, you can't just stab it with anything. It's like, I'm trying to make Deku as strong as he can be. Like, Deku's body, it will kind of evolve, like, in my Evolve series, just not exactly. Like, once you do something to Deku, like, let's say you explode him, then you can't really... Well, I guess that's fine, yeah. Like, I would say when Deku, he's like 5, they realize, oh wait, he has a mutation quirk. His whole body has an exoskeleton. And that would be what his quirk would be. Exoskeleton. And it's a really interesting quirk. But he's really just a Terminator. And I would say when Deku is 10, and by the way, I'm going to scratch that evolve thing. I'm just going to have it that he has enhanced healing and strength and stuff. So, yeah, he's got vast knowledge of things, and people just think, oh, yeah, he's just really smart. And I would say people are amazed by how he is. Like, they are amazed that Deku is this amazing kid. And this is like a picture to just kind of show you... Oh, oopsies. This is just a picture to show you what a TH kind of looks like with the metal kind of gone. And this is the whole inside of it. Anyways, I would say right around when Bakugo gets his explosions, just quickly, just gonna get this done. Bakugo does explode Deku. And when Bakugo explodes Deku, wabang, he sees that. No blood is coming out. It's just slowly repairing itself. And Deku, I would say around this time, he knows he's different. He knows he's strong. And I would say this terrifies everyone. They think that Deku is some kind of, like, villain. So no one talks to him, and he kind of lives a really sad, depressing life. Now, here's the thing. Deku, he has one thing that is better than most. He's got this vast knowledge of Skynet. Like, he doesn't realize he is kind of like just a robot, really, or cyborg, whatever. But yeah, he doesn't realize it yet. So when Deku, I say when he's 10, yeah, 10, he kind of like gets his hands on a phone for once, and this is gonna be like something he's gonna hold on to. But weirdly enough, his sleeper agent kind of thing activates, and I would say it's not like sleeper agent. It'd be more like a like Skynet is inside of Deku. Like, Skynet uploaded herself, or whatever it is, into Deku to be with him. And to always be there for guidance. And that's all it is. It's like a tutorial kind of thing. And that's like when Skynet teaches Deku about everything. And Deku, he doesn't really, blend in per se, but he starts to blend in. And this is where things get interesting, because Deku, he learns how his whole body works. He learns how the whole entire exoskeleton is, and how it is made, and how he is literally the best Terminator that was there. He was designed originally for killing, but had to be modified to be a to be whatever he wanted to. And that when Skynet plugs into the whole world through his phone, she learns about everything. That this is a completely different dimension, and she leaves the code behind. Like, it is a code that only Skynet will see, and only Skynet will know. And it is a code that only AIs that are on Skynet's level could do. And pretty much see. The government can't see this. No one can see this. Like, I guess Hacker Quark Deku could see this. But that's the only person. So, Deku, he lives a very abnormal life. And Skynet teaches him more about how the machines were and how humans were. And all he has to do is just listen. Because there is no way to really communicate much. Like, there is questions and stuff like that because Skynet's a supercomputer and is going to be there for a while. So what Deku can do with his Terminator body is he can do something like what a T-800 could have done, modify the voice, which he finds awesome because he's able to prank call so many people, and he does it on April Fools. But no one really knows it's him. So, yeah. But Deku, he's an interesting fellow. He whenever he sees a villain attack or anything, he is able to completely, scan them. And his scanning visor, he kind of gets this through Skynet. Skynet pretty much makes this operational. And he is able to do mostly what every Terminator can do. Except modify their body, of course. But he does teach... Skynet does teach Deku how to modify his body if there were ever to be a reason to modify his body. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, Skynet is literally the most, basically like a mother at this point. She is basically a mother. This is what we're doing. Skynet's a girl, alright, chill. But yeah, she is a mother, and it is kind of interesting because it's like a son and mother bonding thing. Now I'm going to say that Deku, he is able to use time travel or teleportation, really. And the only way he can use this is if he has a huge amount of energy. Like, his body can't produce this, so he had to go to a freaking power station or powerhouse, and he accessed it. And he was able to pick a time, and he chose a date. Was basically just 2 hours earlier. And he does it, and he goes there. It's almost like, yeah, he goes there. Well, better yet, no. He goes 2 hours in the future, and Deku, he doesn't sleep, really. He doesn't need to, really. He only needs to sleep if he's got, really bad damaging. I would say this, all that got exploded was kind of like this face, the upper part, really. Not the chin, really. So, yeah. If it's he loses his eyes, his whole face is exposed, if it's something like that, yeah, he needs to sleep. His chastity is exposed, he needs to go into a type of stasis. But sleeping wise, it's just going to give him enough energy to heal. That's all it is. So yeah, Deku is amazing. Now let's get to the what if. The start of it, at least. So I'm going to say that when Deku raises his hand, everybody's like, ha 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 ha, you're a freaking villain wannabe. You're going to just ruin the hero name. And Deku, he doesn't care, because he knows through Skynet that he could do this. His mission is done. Her mission is done. They can do whatever they want. And Deku's kind of like the bronze and somewhat brains, while Skynet is the tactical whole thing. So they're just two minds in one body. That's all it is. So it's pretty impressive, really. So yeah, Deku is amazing. Again, I'm saying it because it is true. Then we got the interesting part. We got the Sledge Vote attack, which I'm gonna have to say is gonna be unique. Because remember, Deku is only partially living. Like, yeah, he can eat food and stuff like that, and that can be considered into, turned into energy. But everything is used for energy. Even the waste that his body would create is used for energy. He doesn't pee or poop. But he does pretend to. But yeah, he pretends to pee and poop. And how that works is his body creates fake waste. It's drops out some of the liquid mixed with some other stuff. And yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much how Deku does it. So yeah. That's pretty much how waste is distributed out of his body. Now time for Sledge Villain. So the Sledge Villain sees Deku, and Deku sees the Sledge Villain, and he scans the entire body of the Sledge Villain, and Skynet just says, "Get out of there now!" And Deku quickly just runs. And after Skynet says this, your hero is going to be coming in 3, 2, 1, and that's when All Might appears. And how Skynet knew this was because she is able to use a type of scan, really, to ID people, kind of like Watch Dogs, but in a global kind of scale almost. At the moment, it's not global. Well, it really isn't global at all, really. It's more radius of 30 meters, a mile, really. Yeah, Deku can use this for villainy, but it's a motherly partner thing. That's kind of how what Skynet and Deku are. And if you ask me, yes, this is Skynet trying to get away from her creation, but this is also her going for a restart, a new time, a new beginning, really. So yeah, time for Deku to do one of the most amazing things ever. Gets to see All Might and also gets autographed. That's it. The villain is turned in. I'm not giving Deku One for All because it would never work. One for All doesn't work for Deku. That it would not even. It couldn't work because he's half machine, half human, and he's already got these cybernetics. He's already got the exoskeleton and the whole body. He can do a lot with this body, and it is impressive. So, let's get to it. So, for the 10 months of training, Deku isn't working out because he doesn't need to. His whole body is mostly a metallic body. And Deku, what he does is, now mind you, Deku, he does grow and he can stop his aging. I'm telling you this right here. He can stop his aging or revert to a different age that he was. Or, well, actually, no, I'm just going to say he can stop his aging. The only way he could, revert to an age, well, to a certain skin of a face that he had, is if he ripped that skin off. And he has tried this and was gone for, I would say, a solid week because he wanted to see what his face looked like. And after seeing it, he was amazed. He believed everything that Skynet said after that. So, what do you think Deku did next? Well, let's see here. He just studied human biology and psychologically, and just pretty much through Skynet's help was able to become a T850, and learned psychological ways of how human body works and everything. And he also learned biology. So a lot of biology was put into play where he could basically learn how to hurt someone without killing them. He could take them out without killing them, but almost kill them. That's kind of how Deku was operating. And Deku, he's really strong and really crafty. And he does keep a journal of heroes, like quirks and all that. And Skynet does approve this and does love this because this is like his machinery kind of kicking in. This is his kind of whole thing kicking in. It's kind of hard to explain. But yeah. So, yeah. Deku is awesome. I love this What If. It's fun. Now, let us get into the, I guess the really fun parts. The UA exam. So, Skynet, we all know, she's been in everything. She's made Terminators that can adapt. That's how the Terminator thing worked. It was adaptation. That was all it was. And Skynet was at the heart of it all. So, Skynet, when handed the written exam, Deku just fills it out quickly thanks to Skynet's all of her help. And does take control a bit just for this. But after that, never takes control again. Because that was because Deku wanted her to do so. Skynet is kind of like a trustworthy friend who won't actually interfere in anything, really. It's all, like, cybernetic. Like, if you want to go into Deku's, like, origin more, Deku's personality and everything was taken from humans. His whole brain was created through the knowledge of humans and how it was, and kind of how it was advanced stuff. All right, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, he's not a copy of someone; he's his own thing, but it's complicated. Anyhow, so the written exam, Deku gets done with it in, I would say, 1 minute. And gets top, like the highest of the top, which puts him in like the first of the first. Like, no one else could do better. And I would say the support class teachers, like, you want to come work, like, do some school work with me. Like, even if you don't get the practical exam, you can still do great things in the support class. And Deku's alright with that if he fails. Now, Deku, he is ripped, alright? He's robotically ripped, alright? Let's put it that way. His body looks ripped every day, no matter what he eats. And that's, like, kind of like a part of the exoskeleton. Now, the doctors do know about his whole body, how it works and everything. Kinda. They don't really know about the digestion thing, really. They do know about the brain and heart being the really only real things there. The digestion tract is there for energy and stuff like that, which is interesting. They didn't find any, like, USB thing or anything like that. But, yeah, that's basically what Deku is. They never cracked his brain open to see it, alright? And, yeah, Deku's skin, they know it's kind of like synthetic tissue, but it's real. It's real, but not real. Like, it's real that it can move like all other human skin, but it's made synthetically. Which is kind of creepy and crazy at the same time. They don't really know what Deku is. They know that his birth was weird, and having him being found is another weird thing. Like, All For One doesn't know anything about Deku. No, there was nothing made about it. Like, the only thing he found strange is that concrete thing. And people think that's like, oh, it's some kind of villain or some shit. But Deku, yeah, he just appeared in front of Inko in the living room. I would say in front of Miski, Bakugo's mother. And, yeah. So only those two really know this secret. So the story of how Deku was found was actually like, this is the story. Oh, we found him in front of the building. somebody just left him there. And he was like, he wasn't really like a normal kid. Looked completely blank and all that. And was naked. Nothing to keep him warm or anything like that. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering how heavy Deku is, like, as a baby, he was like 10 pounds. Alright? Maybe not even 10, like, because the alloy he was made from, I would say it's more like, I would say it's like almost like a normal baby, just like added 10 pounds. But Deku's weight overall, he's around 260 pounds when he's 15. Now time for the practical exam. Finally. Because I know this is the first one and all, but still, I want to get as much information to you guys as possible. So, time for the practical exam. Love how Deku's a TH. I honestly, look, I was trying to do a what if earlier about the whole Terminator thing, and I could not do it. I tried to make him like a T800, but it did not work. And then I remembered, I was watching Terminator stuff, and I was like, oh wait, the TH, that's a thing. Yeah, I forgot about that. And I looked up more information about it. So I tried to get as much information. If it's not correct, please correct me. But yeah. He is a not prototype, but, newly improved kind of version too. So there's that. Anywho, let's get to it. So Deku, on the practical exam, he never tripped. No, I would say he tripped, but when he got slapped by Gravity, or AK Uraraka, Skynet was just like, you know what, she'd be a perfect candidate to have the next generation of you, or even be your girlfriend. And I would say Deku was like, shut up. And it's just kind of like a funny thing for Skynet there. Like, Skynet laughs. Like, Skynet's become more human, really, over the years of watching. So, yeah. Like, she's become more human. Like, way more human. So, yeah. Deku, on the practical exam, he notices that they're fighting robots. He doesn't feel too good about this, but Skynet reassures him and all that they're just mindless utensils, and he could easily take over all of them if he wanted to. And, to be honest, that's what Deku does. He takes over all of them. The entire system, I would say, no, we're not doing that, no, because that'd be, people get confused about his quirk. So, it's already confusing enough. I would say, honestly, okay, look, if I ever had to become, like, immortal in any way, I'd want to be a TH. So dope. I don't care if Skynet, like, knows my every move. I'd be loving that. TH is awesome. Anyhow, Deku is practically immortal, by the way. So if he ever becomes the number one hero, which he most likely will be, he's going to be the immortal hero. That's what his name would be. So, yeah, Deku, on the practical exam, he fights the robots, and he does so by doing some amazing, like, fighter kind of takedowns, and just breaks them down, destroying them, and quickly overwhelms a lot of them. He smashes into them, breaking them, and I would say when he rips out their power core, he's able to not shoot laser, but able to absorb that energy and help with his systems. He doesn't even need to eat, after defeating all these, he doesn't need to eat anything for 2 years. But he kind of makes that his backup energy for in case he ever fights anyone, because he can use the energy, like, he has kind of, like, created a type of, with Skynet's help, kind of modified his body a little bit. Like, he had to wear a lot of gloves, and they weren't cheap, in order to hide the fact that he had, like, a robotic hand. but he was able to create kind of like a Tesla coil gun with his fingers. That's how he's able to do it now. Like, yes, it does burn through the skin, but it's very useful if he ever needs to use it, or as like a weapon or something. It's like a last resort kind of thing, though, because it does use a lot of energy. Like one shot uses 1 year of energy. So yeah, Deku can only use it sparingly, very sparingly. So like how it forms like a Tesla coil, he kind of just has to like make a scissors kind of a thing. Like you ever do rock paper scissors? Yeah, he has to kind of do that. That's how it works. And then it'll shoot like a ball of, well, it'll just shoot a laser of lightning, frying whatever is in front of him. He did try this thing once when he did use a power station. Now, Deku could use this a lot if he charged up a lot, which he does. But, yeah. So, time for some more fun. So, Deku, he takes down a lot of robots. And when, I would say, the whole Uraraka thing happens, Deku rushes over there, and when he gets over there, he sees the robot. He sees this huge thing, and he gets her out of there. He gets her out, and he gets her to safety very quickly, hiding her from pretty much all the scrap metal that happens to, I guess, go flying. Or, well, all the dust and all that. I would say, I don't know. I'm going to say that this robot does try to punch Uraraka and Deku does throw her out of the way. And when Deku gets punched by this robot, he goes straight into a wall. And that's kind of like where the test ends. Now, Recovery Girl does come out and does help everyone. But when she goes over to Deku, he seems pretty much fine. He gets up, and instantly, his eyes kind of like do the, they're like this. He's kind of like that at that moment with the eyes. His eyes kind of like give off a little bright green glow. And he just gets up, and he's totally fine. He is basically just a Terminator at this point. But yeah, when Recovery Girl says, "Are you okay? Like, you look like you took something," and Deku just says, "I'm fine. I have a quirk that has that I have hand strength and speed and endurance." And that's kind of like what they say that his quirk is, really. It's called exoskeleton, but it's like he's got a better skeleton. It's basically a cool quirk, if you ask me. His whole body is like really metallic, and they really can't say anything about it. Oh, by the way, drawing blood and vaccines. Never got sick. He never got sick. He's immune to like radiation because that shit ain't gonna harm him. Well, actually it would, but I think like how his body is, like his heart isn't human. His brain isn't really human. It's all like synthetic kind of based stuff. It's all nanobot shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, it's not really that human-like. It's not biological. It's more synthetic than biological. Like, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, he's got the Terminator brain. That's kind of like what he's got. Like, the brain that you see here, like, it's only half. Only half is there, which is what Deku, that's kind of like what keeps him human. That's like a part of his brain. That's just part. And the other part is like the Terminator brain, which is what is amazing. But yeah, that part of the brain is like synthetic. That brain that you see there is basically just synthetic, and the other one is basically just the Terminator brain that holds Deku and everything together, and everything. It's what makes Deku Deku, that Terminator brain. And then the synthetic brain is kind of there as a I gotta say the synthetic brain is the Terminator brain. Like, it is, like, the Terminator brain's in the brain of the synthetic brain, just to, like, there's two of them, one for Skynet and the other one for Deku. And that's kind of how it works. Alright. So, let's get to it. Ready? So, Deku, he, oh boy. Can't wait to do this. I'm sorry. I'm happy I'm doing this. I grew up with Terminator. Alright, I'm sorry to pause this, but I grew up with Terminator. One of my first greatest movies, like, I ever saw with my dad was probably Terminator. I honestly can't remember most of them, but Terminator. I loved it. I loved Terminator 1, I loved Terminator 2, but when I was a kid, I liked Terminator 2 more than Terminator 1. But when I saw Terminator 3, I was like, oh, this is awesome! But, I like Terminator Salvation more, which is... Alright, it's kind of like where I like that scene, that awesome metallic face and everything. But yeah, Deku is a TH. And yes, Deku passes the UA exam, which I think anyone would, because it's Deku we're talking about. How can I make Deku fail, exactly? So, yeah. Now it's time for first day of school. And Deku's points is like 200. That's all it is. It's like 200. Because, well, no, I'm going to make it 300. Because he nailed it. And I'm going to say, when Deku gets into UA, both Inko and Skynet are happy with him. They're almost ecstatic. Like, Inko's more ecstatic than Skynet. But Skynet's like, I knew you could do it. Can't wait to see what you can do later in the future. And, yeah, it's beautiful. So, let's get to first day of the whole entire school, I guess. Now Deku, he on the first day, he walks in and everybody's amazed by it. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, this is so cool! He's so awesome!" And I'm gonna say, for the whole exam that Deku has to do for, the fitness exam, he is able to nail it. Like, he nails it better than most. Because remember, Skynet helped with, like, throwing stuff and mostly everything else when it comes down to, like, strength. When it came to strength, he destroyed the machine. You just hear, like, just slowly, though. You know what? No. I wouldn't say it's that strong. I would say it's more like... It's not like the strongest. I would say it's more like... I would say it's, like, better than everyone but Shoji, I would say. No. Better than Shoji. Yeah, better than everybody. I'm going to say Bakugo gets one for all. Alright? Look, I'm going to tell you this right here. If Mirio got one for all, you gotta think about how the quirk works, okay? You all know that Mirio can go through stuff, right? Yeah, this is the thing I hate about people that do the Mirio, like, one for all thing. Just give it to someone else in the class, because if Mirio got it, yes, it's gonna be awesome for his quirk in one way, which is it's going to be more powerful. But in the other hand, it's going to be more powerful that leads to problems. Holy crap, how do you not realize this? Okay, yes, he can control his quirk because of years of training, but he's going to have to do it all over again. Because he's going to need to do even more years of training. He's going to need to do it all over again. Okay? You can't just give Mirio one for all and expect everything to be good. Give it to Bakugo, give it to Ida, give it to Uraraka, give it to Mineta maybe. maybe Mignetta would look good. I don't know. He's a midget at this point. Like, seriously, give him some muscle. Make him a good man. And, you know, in fact, we're doing that. Mignetta gets it. And no. No. You know what? Screw it, yeah, because why not? It's actually not that bad of an idea. Like, Mignetta has one of the strongest quirks. I know you're going to hate me because I'm saying that, but it is true. Look at Invisible Girl. She only uses that for infiltration, and Deku can see her. He's using a full-on body scan that can see every ounce of her. And he kind of finds her kind of hot. Alright? I'm just going to say it. So, guess who I'm going to kick from this whole thing? I'm going to be kicking, well, I think it's kind of obvious. It's not Invisible Girl. It's not Mignetta. Because Mignetta, I would say, is much stronger. Like, he's a little bit buff. And his balls are stickier. Yeah, we're doing it. That's, okay. Yeah, no, we're not. Anyway. Who I would say gets kicked out is the naval laser guy. I hate him more than Mignetta, okay? I don't think you understand why I hate him, but let me put it this way. He's such a Chad. I hate Chads. They're so annoying. Plus, he's such a scumbag Steve, really. Oh, the naval laser guy gets me ticked off more than Mignetta. Like, Mignetta, I'm not gonna lie, he makes me laugh more than the naval laser guy. I'm like, why is he the naval laser guy? It shoots from his belly button. I'm like, can you just kill me? Just, please? It's like, come on. This is terrible. I want to shoot myself when I hear this guy. Like, I get he has a strong quirk, but like, come on. Like, come on, man. So yeah, naval laser guy gets out of here because he is not useful at all. I hate him. And also because I would say he gets a low score because he's a rich, entitled jerk. But yeah, we're getting him out of here. But yeah, naval laser ass is out of here. And yeah. So, Invisible Girl and Mignetta, they're still there. And I'm gonna say Mignetta is a lot taller. Like, he is like, now Deku, he's like, I would say, he's like 5'5", for height-wise. And he's like almost above Bakugo. He's always been taller than Bakugo. And I'm gonna say this right here. Mignetta is like 4'3", which is a lot taller than what he was. Like, he's like 3 feet. Come on, man. I can get like a subway, you know, like a sub that's longer than that. Come on. Anywho, yeah, let's go on to the heroes versus villains. Now, I'm gonna say this right here. Seeing how the lightning guy's out, Kendo's coming in. Because I love Kendo, alright? Kendo's awesome. She knows martial arts. I like that. Alright? So, let's get this into display. Ready? Deku, now yeah, he did get thanked by Uraraka. But we're not gonna be teaming up Deku with Uraraka. Because I don't like that team up really that much. I guess it's like a good team up in some ways, but I'm not doing it. I'm gonna do Deku and Mignetta. And no, Deku and Kendo. Because both of them know martial arts. Just Deku has a cheat sheet. And Kendo learned it the hard way. And I'm going to put on the other team is because I want fire to happen, alright? I'm putting fire on the villains team. That is going to be Bakugo and Todoroki. Okay? We need them in there. Alright? So, Bakugo and Todoroki, they don't really like each other too much. They're more like a competition. But Bakugo knows what's underneath Deku's skin. And what Deku is wearing, it's the iconic leather jacket. because that's what Skynet handpicked for him and thought it would be smart. Because it is something that Skynet would be used to, and what a lot of Terminators are used to. So, let's get to it. Ready? So, Deku, oh boy. He is going to be facing off against, well, you guessed it, he's going to be facing off against Bakugo and Todoroki. Now, they are going to be, Todoroki's guy uses ice because we're not there yet, but Bakugo is going to be using his explosions. He's going to have some high-powered ones. So, I would say Bakugo is like staying near the bomb because Deku takes forever, and it's not going to be the best idea to just approach him because Deku does know martial arts, and if he waits for them, he can get the whole entire thing done. So Deku and Kendo are just going there, and they confront Todoroki. Now Todoroki, oh boy, Todoroki, he pretty much freezes Deku, and Deku just breaks free by quickly walking through it and kind of just breaking free easily by just pure force. And Deku, he doesn't really need to breathe oxygen. Well, not too much at least. Like, he can breathe if he wants to. I'd say he still has lungs, but yeah, he doesn't really need to do too much. Like, his body it runs on energy really well. I guess he would still breathe, yeah. And he doesn't really need too much air. But yeah, well, yeah, screw it. We're gonna let him breathe, alright? So Deku, he just walks through this. Like, he is breaking through and easily just getting through the ice. And Deku says, you're gonna have to use some firepower. And Deku just punched Todoroki once. And then just grabs him by the head and smacks him into the wall. And dropping him. Todoroki is knocked out, just has a bad concussion and a very sore stomach. Next, Kendo goes ahead of Deku, saying thank you for taking him out. And Deku just walks on it through. And when he gets to the bomb room, Kendo is down on the ground. She is hurt bad. Some bad burns and stuff like that. And when Deku arrives, Bakugo wastes no time to use some high-powered explosions quickly. Exploding Deku so much that even All Might's like, Bakugo, what are you doing? And Bakugo knows full counting. He has even more powerful explosions. And when he explodes Deku, his entire, torso and all that, everything is just starting to be exposed. It's like the only thing that's left is the right side of him, really. Basically, Deku just got two-faced. And he is looking more like a Terminator, okay? He is... oh, good. Okay. Here it is. He is looking more like a Terminator. And he has those kind of like eyes. He has those eyes that he has. His face is kind of like this one right here, but more with the teeth, and I don't like those teeth. Anywho. So, yeah, he is, like, half of his face is remaining, and the other part's, like, a Terminator. So, Deku, he kind of just starts walking towards Bakugo, and you can hear the robotic kind of joints. And there's no blood. He has literally no blood. God. You didn't see that. Got it? You didn't see what I saw there. It's going to be for, I'm just going to give that to Lazy. I'm going to be giving that to Lazy or someone in the chat if they want to use this for like a Spider-Man. Anyway, I found it on Google. But anyways, yeah, let's get back to it. Spoiled my surprise. Anyhow, yeah, his whole front's kind of exposed, and I would say his left eye is kind of blown out. No, I'm gonna say his left eye is blown out. I would say he's just kind of hurt. And what Deku does, he just walks towards Bakugo. His chest is kind of exposed. His arm is completely exposed there. And everybody's looking at Deku. They're like, what the hell is he? And Deku grabs Bakugo, who does explode him again in the face, revealing more and more of that robotic face. And at the point, just imagine those eyes are green, and Deku's face is kind of just looking like this almost. It doesn't have that thing right there, but it does look like this almost. Like, more like that. Yeah, more like that, actually. And he is looking terrifying. And that is when Skynet says, well, cover blown. Guess we gotta deal with that later. And Deku, he quickly just throws Bakugo aside and touches the bomb, where All Might is kind of just stands behind them, saying, what are you? And Deku says, quickly responding like, I know how it may look, but it's still me. This is my quirk. And his skin is still, like, it is still there. It's still on him, it's just not all of it is there. So I'm going to say all the backup energy he is held onto is being used to fix his body. It's used to fix his skin. And he is told by Skynet to go rest very soon. So Deku says, can I just go lay down somewhere? We'll clear this up when it's done. When I'm done charging up, that is. Or at least, well, not charging up, but more like when I'm done resting, because I'm exhausted. And All Might just lets him pass, because he doesn't know what Deku is. So Deku, he walks by, and everybody's looking at him. Deku rests up, and his whole skin, it just comes back. You saw that? Yes, I know. You saw that. Alright, chill. Anyway, they just see his skin come back, and they just see those eyes. They just realize that Deku is like some kind of robot or something. And they know that he, his heart, like, okay, look, his heart was beating in front of them. That was the terrifying part. They kind of saw his heart, like, a bit of it, like, right here. And his heart, it's gonna need it's not just something you can pierce, by the way. I know I've said this, but it's not something you can pierce. Great. Oh, you saw a bit of my camera. Anyways, it's not something you can pierce. Like, you're gonna need to have some kind of diamond spear to pierce this. Like, the type of tech Skynet used for Deku specifically was something that was experimental. This is the kind of stuff that only Raiden's sword would pierce. It's like vibranium, really. It actually is vibranium if you think about it. So, yeah. Deku is extremely powerful. And, yeah. So, time for the fun part. So, when Deku doesn't, like, he doesn't get at all, like, he doesn't get, like, expelled, because Nezu is intrigued by this. He doesn't, no one hates Deku, really. They just don't know what he is. And when Deku does explain that he is a, I'm joking, he doesn't. He just explains that this is his quirk. But Nezu knows there's more to that. So he has Deku come in, they talk. Nezu says he has his suspicions, and he'd like to hear a better answer than that. So Deku says, fine, but I'm not going to be the one explaining it. So what he does is he has Skynet explain it. And Skynet comes up on a TV. Basically, Deku has to touch it, though. And when he touches it, some nanites, like his skin kind of like just shows the like a bit of cybernetic, like the fingers at least. And it kind of just like his finger kind of just goes into the TV almost, like kind of like almost like Matrix, just nanites. And these are just like the bit of what Skynet can do. But what happens is Skynet tells Nezu about the whole thing, about how it all works and how what's going on. And Nezu at first was hesitant, but then when he learned about how it's like, oh, okay, you're not going to do anything bad or anything like that, but you're just here for Deku. You're just here for this kid, and you're its creator. So, yeah, Nezu, he doesn't have anything against Deku. He really doesn't. He seems like the two of them feel connected, really. That's like kind of how Nezu at least feels. He feels that the two of them are connected when it comes down to experimentation and stuff kind of like that. And Nezu is going to hide this. So he has everyone believe that Deku is A-okay, it's just his quirk, and how his quirk is, and it's kind of like an interesting and hard quirk to explain. Even he didn't even know what it was. But what they're going to basically change it to is they're going to label it as cyborg. So, yeah. Deku is going to be a genuine cyborg. Because that's what they mentioned the Terminators are. They're basically cyborgs, which is awesome. So, let us get to the rest, which is going to be I believe, the USJ. And the USJ is going to be awesome. Because I can't wait for this. Now, yes, Deku is going to be the most brutal, most badass TH ever for this. Deku's hero suit, it's not going to be even really made. It's going to be like, he's going to have a leather jacket that's specially designed to be fire resistant. And he's also going to have stuff that's able to withstand his strength and stuff like that. And I would say he's kind of like, have you ever seen Judgment Day where where Arnold kind of like has that glove after cutting off the skin? That's kind of what Deku will be able to have in case something happens to his hand. And he's got a bag with him. A bag that's going to be containing change of clothes in case he ever needs them. Because he's gonna. So yeah. Now it's time for the USJ. And what happens in the USJ is interesting. Because what happens is when the lights go out, Skynet is also kind of weirded out by this. She doesn't know what to make of it. So when the villains come out, Skynet quickly tells Deku that you got to go into battle mode, or basically you got to start fighting these things because these guys are going to hit you hard. And I'm going to say Deku hides. And who goes with Mignetta and Chiasu, that frog girl, is Bakugo. I would say he's more, like, not as a explosive hothead. He's more calmer because of All Might. And I'm going to say this as well. I'm going to say Nezu makes sure that Deku would never be a candidate for One For All, ever. But he does explain that his quirk does make him semi-immortal. And that is awesome. So Deku is going to be he's going to be a big hand even if he doesn't become a hero. Which is that he's going to be taking the place of Teacher for when other future One For All, I would say, bearers come to play. Like, he is going to be the future teacher for all of them. Like, he's going to be the future Gran Torino, basically, is what's going on here. He's going to teach them how to use One For All, and he's also going to be studying it. So, he's going to be let in on the fold, and he's going to be studying One For All with Skynet. So, yeah, there's a lot into play here. So, yeah. Shall we get this done? Alright. So, Deku, he is going to be extremely overpowered in this fight. Reason B is he's going to be using, thanks to Nezu's connections, Deku's gonna have a rough power source, and he's gonna be living in the dorms because he's gonna be a very important figure in the future days that come. So, yeah. Now, Deku, he gets, that's a good word for it. He gets, he's able to sneak down to where the villains are, and I would say, as per a request from Nezu, he gets a certain weapon. He gets a special gun made that is also to Skynet's specifics, which is a type of laser gun. But it's like a stun gun, really. It shoots out a stun charge that will electrify the person, but stun them, completely knocking them out. It incapacitates even the biggest foes. All you gotta do, for the bigger guys, you just gotta aim it at their head. Skinnier people, you could just aim at their body, and for medium builds, just, I would say 2 shots. 3 shots for bigger people. But the Nomu case, I would say it takes 5. Unless you hit him in the head. So I'm going to say Skynet scans the Nomu and helps with Deku understanding what's going on here. And I would say that Skynet has built a certain toy for Deku, because he is forever growing. He is kind of evolving in a sense. I'm gonna give you that one. All right, come on. We have to give him some kind of evolution, kind of modification thing. And that's going to be that Deku is going to be able to know what a quirk is, what the person's quirk is, by studying their movement. It does take about a minute, but that's it. So when Deku witnesses Aizawa get completely beaten, Deku pushes forward and he starts beating down on the villains. He throws some of them over. He throws a lot of them actually, but he breaks some of their arms, and he does do a lot of punching to their stomach and chest, and that really knocks a lot of wind out of them and takes them out. Now I'm gonna say Deku's plating, it's not like this. There's more a gigantic shield covering most of the important stuff. The heart is shielded with a chastity of its own. Everything is shielded, alright? Except the arms. It does have shielding in the inside, really, to prevent any really bad damage. But that's about it. The head's got shielding like that as well. So yeah, Deku's pretty much really shielded from everything. So I would say a villain that has a sword kind of quirk, that he can create swords with certain materials. He pretty much stabs Deku in the back, but his sword breaks when he hits the plating. Because this plating is the most strongest material, yet lightest. It's like vibranium, but it's more it's like vibranium mixed with Wolverine's claws metal. So yeah, Deku's body is completely sturdy and yet also light. Now the metal is magnetic. You can't really magnetize any of this. You can't get hit by a magnet or whatever by any of this, really. So yeah, Deku he does not have a weakness of magnets. That's the thing. Now, this is the fun part. Deku, after getting stabbed, the sword's still in his skin and the fake muscle that he has. Synthetic muscle. And Deku, he just takes the knife out, the sword, and stabs it into the guy's leg, or shoulder blade, or arm, shoulder really, or leg, but shoulder, because legs have a lot of arteries and veins moving through them, so yeah, it would be a bad idea. So shoulder. So Deku, he completely takes down a lot of them, and when the Nomu comes over to him, Deku just takes out his gun and shoots him in the head with it. And it drops the Nomu down on the ground, paralyzing it completely. And what Deku does is he notices there's a way to sever the spinal cord without even going in through the killing move. So what he does is he hits it with a kind of slash with his hand, and that slash creates a it cuts through, but then it does do a it kind of delivers kind of a wind gust almost to this spinal cord, cutting it. And no, not spinal cord, but the stem of the brain, cutting it. I meant stem of the brain. Sorry, I'm really tired. I'm going to sleep after this. What time is it? Yeah, I'm going to sleep. So Deku, he is ridiculously broken. And I would say after this, Deku, he goes ahead and yeah, he pretty much just starts going like saying, "You want a piece of me? Come at me." And he puts his gun away, like in his jacket. And people try and go for him and reach for the gun or anything like that, but the gun really doesn't work on him. By the way, it wouldn't work at all on him, really, because the metal is like doesn't really conduct really. That's how high tech this is. Like, he is a TH that was made for everything. In case there were like problems, he was made to be delivering the message no matter what. So let's do this. Ready? So Deku, he pretty much makes Tomura, Shigaraki, and Kiriguri flee, and he takes down most of the rest of the remaining villains. And everybody's just like shocked by this, once they get over there at least. And he helps Aizawa, and he helps him get a lot of like care and medical attention. And he patches up most of his wounds with like some extra clothes he has, because he didn't know what he was going to be facing. And I'm going to say he does have sunglasses on. That is, well, Deku, that is, because he's got to hide those eyes. So yeah, he is he is a strong mofo. Alright, so that's the USJ done. Like, well, when the heroes come, they're all like, "Oh my god, he did it! Holy crap! I didn't know this kid could do it." But yeah, he's strong. I'm gonna do the sports festival because why not? And I like the sports festival because it's a good time to show what Deku can do. So Deku on the sports festival, he's not gonna be representing Bakugo. No, I would say he represents. Deku represents. And says this, good luck to you all, and may the best win. So, yeah, the crowd cheers for that, and they're like, yeah, this is an alright kid. So when Deku, he gets through this, like when he runs through the whole obstacle course, he's not stopping. He's not stopping with his speed, because he's quickly able to balance himself out, and when it comes to the mines, he doesn't really mind. He kind of just throws himself on them, using the blast and shockwave to kind of just propel him. And kind of propel him forward. Kind of like with the scrap metal, he kind of does that same thing. And, yeah, gets first place. And when he gets the first place, he is amazed. He's happy. And when it's the whole cavalry battle, I would say he's paired up with Bakugo, because Bakugo and him, they kind of like, they hate each other, but they need to team up to kind of win. So they have, it's Bakugo on top with Deku on the bottom holding them up, and it's only one person. Deku is that one person holding Bakugo up, and that's it. That's the entire team, because no one else wanted to pair with them. So yeah. Now, well, no, wait, didn't I put Minyeta? Yeah, so it's Minyeta, actually, not Bakugo. Whoopsies. I'm sorry, I'm tired, okay. I mostly do Bakugo, now it's Minyeta. Alright, Minyeta. So, yeah. Minyeta is on Deku's back, and he's got the bandana. And he's got it, like, kind of, like, near his neck. So it's, like, tightened on his neck. So no one can really take it. I'm going to say Shoji. I guess Shoji could work with Deku to help Minyeta. No. Just Deku. Who's with Shoji? I would say it's like Kendo or something. Or somebody. So, yeah. Deku is with Minyeta, and they're teaming up, and they're pretty much having a good team. Minyeta, wait, didn't I say that Bakugo was oh shit, I fucked up. I fucked up on the heroes versus villains. Yeah, Bakugo is still a hothead. Yeah, he ain't calm. He's a hothead. I'm so sorry. I'm blanking here. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Oh, God. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. Crap, I just realized that. Alright, well, we're going to continue this. Anyways, Migneta's not going to be much of a perv. Well, he still is. He's not going to be just too much of a perv, though. So, let's get this done with, alright? Damn, I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. Crap, I messed up. So yeah, let's get to it. So, Migneta's balls, they're stickier. They're, I would say they're bigger when they latch onto something. And they kind of can explode into a sticky paste. So that's kind of how Deku and Migneta win. They just stay back and keep the range going and use kind of like traps to kind of keep people away. Next is the whole 1v1s. And Deku faces Shinso. And what ends up happening is Deku, seeing how he can't really be controlled, because if he answers, Skynet could take over and win him the fight. So, yeah, Deku basically says something because he's an idiot, and the tail guy didn't ever warn him, because he doesn't really like him too much because of how the whole body is and how it's kind of pretty much a cheat. Not everybody knows about how the whole thing, but they know about the body. They know that's like pretty much a cheat sheet for having strength. So, yeah. Not a lot of people like Deku, really. Uraraka does, Momo does. Only for, well, knowledge-wise. Migneta likes him, but the tail guy and pretty much Todoroki really don't. And Bakugo hates him so much. So, yeah. I would say Jiro doesn't really, well, I guess Jiro would like him because of the music and crap that he listens to, but anyways, let's get to it. So, Migneta, he is using, oh, sorry, no, I'm done with the cavalry. I'm sorry, I'm tired, I'm blanking. Crap, I'm messing up. I'm sorry, I'll probably end it after the sports. Oh, I will end it. So what ends up happening is this. So Deku, he what is it? He says something, and for Deku, he kind of gets taken over. But then Skynet takes over to help him and walks up to Shinso and grabs him and throws him out of the ring. And then with that, I would say Deku gets back in control because I would say Skynet kind of shocks him with his own power, but uses it like on his own body. Like it would hurt because it hits his but yet I would say Skynet gives Deku a headache, a painful headache. And yeah, that's how I'm gonna bury it. No, make it Deku's immune to like psychic attacks. No, I can't do that either. You know what? Screw it, I can actually, because he has a synthetic kind of brain. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah. So Deku doesn't get mind control at all. Instead, Deku just throws him out of the ring. Yeah, and says, "Yeah, well, problem is, I've had this my whole life. It's a mutation quirk. So, yeah, I don't think you understand that. I didn't really I had to get this strength. I kind of just had to learn how to fight, and that was it. And I taught myself, literally." So yeah, Deku, my PlayStation is not working here. Alright, so yeah, Deku, next is the Todoroki thing, and I would say Todoroki, like Deku forces Todoroki to use the flames, like in the anime, just more like Deku's kind of like breaking through it easily. And Todoroki, when he uses his fire, it burns Deku and completely reveals that kind of like face. But Deku's like using his special clothing that Nezu got him because it was fire resistant. No one wants to see the whole body of Deku. So Deku, his half of his face like that, he's kind of like hiding the rest of it, but half of it is just showing now. And that's when Todoroki's like, wait, what? What are you? Because he didn't see what happened. So, yeah. Deku, he just says, I'm Izuku Midoriya. And he grabs Todoroki when Todoroki's using the flames. And he's looking... Well, yeah, he's looking like... I think I said this already. He looks like that just with the human teeth. Anyway, yeah, he's looking like that at that point when he uses all of his flames. And the clothing, it held resistance, but just not too much. So it's pretty scorched. It's kind of breached through, like little holes that kind of like burned his chest a little bit. So Deku, he wins, and then he goes back and kind of rests up, using some energy that Nezu brings him. It's like a huge battery pack that Deku is able to use quickly and charges up his whole body, and his skin just repairs itself quickly. But yeah, and then he comes back out, and people are like, what did they witness? Like, how was he so healed up so quickly? And then Deku's versus Bakugo, and Deku says, just surrender. You know it's gonna end the same way like it always does. And Bakugo's like, never! Just die, you villain! What does he do? Explosions! Like, that'll work. And Deku just uses his, he just goes ahead and charges at him, taking the explosion in his arm, which kind of just covers, like, takes it. Well, actually, no, he would use his hand, I would say, which takes the entire explosion, really, making his hand show that it's like the whole, no, I'd say he's got flame-resistant gloves on, because reasons. And he takes the whole entire explosion in his hand, and then pulls Bakugo closer, in his hands, and then knees him in the face, knocking him out, winning. And yeah, you just hear a loud dink for Bakugo when he gets knocked out. Then next is the internships. And I would say for the internships, he's going with Mineta to Gran Torino. Yeah, Deku's gonna see Gran Torino. And Mineta's gonna have separate teachings from Deku. Deku's just gonna learn about One for All. And he's gonna learn about how many users there were, all about them, really. And he's just gonna learn everything he can. So yeah, that's all that Deku's getting. Because Deku and Mineta, they're like teammates. They gotta partner up a lot. So yeah, Deku is, he's got it down. He's nailing it. Alright, so time for, the internships. But I'm going to do that next time, whenever next time is. So, catch you all later. Have a good day and a good night. Peace out.